Apple has released an urgent security update, iOS 18.1.1. Should you install it and what has been fixed? Today we will discuss. My name is Maksim. Let's go! So, yes, quite suddenly, Apple has released a new version of iOS 18.1.1 for us. And if we talk about the size of the system, it is about 200 to 500 megabytes depending on your device. If you are updating from iOS 18.1, if you are coming from older versions, it can indeed weigh more, up to a full package of 6 to 8 GB, which is absolutely normal. In addition, we also have iPadOS 18.1.1 and macOS 15.1.1 released, which also contain security patches. Now let's talk about what they are. For older devices, iOS and iPadOS 17.7.2 have been released. According to Apple, there are no bug fixes in this update, so if you were hoping for better battery performance or new features, this update is not about that. Here we have security patches, specifically 2 security patches that Apple states were actively exploited. The first is a JavaScript vulnerability, meaning that while browsing various websites, malicious software could attach itself and infect your device through JavaScript. They particularly mentioned that Macs with Intel processors were very susceptible to this. Not the new Apple M processors, not iPhones, but specifically Macs with Intel processors. However, this issue also existed on Apple processors and on party iPhones, iPads, and Macs, but it was less widespread because they are a bit harder to hack in this regard. Apple also found a similar flaw in its own WebKit protocol, which, if you didn't know, is made by Apple, and through various manipulations it was possible to hack the system core and execute the malicious code. The same vulnerability existed on Apple processors as well as on Intel processors, but Intel processors are much more susceptible to this issue. Accordingly, Apple security experts strongly recommend updating. If we talk about how it works, because I updated, I didn't notice any changes, of course. But if we look at performance from a testing perspective, everything is roughly at the same level, and in some aspects it even got a little better, but actually within the margin of statistical error. As for the battery, it seems they shouldn't have changed anything either. Should you install this operating system right now? Should you rush headlong to install it like everything is lost? No, and of course if you have a Mac on Intel and you are already on Sequoia on some version like 15.1, then probably go ahead and install it, right? Apple doesn't just say that it was actively exploited on Intel for no reason. If you are on other devices, yes, security is important, you can generally install it, but if you are worried, especially on older versions, not 18.1, because if you have 18.1, I think you can install it, but if you have some version 17, for example, 18.0, and you think, I'm fine with the battery life, what if I update and something goes wrong? That can happen. Because the version might install incorrectly or something might get messed up due to the update, something might start consuming resources, that is generally possible. So if you really care about battery life, it's better to wait a bit and see how it works for others, to feel more at ease. In other respects, again, there is no need to rush. The update has arrived in the settings, just install it. I probably wouldn't rush to click the button too quickly. And of course, many are actually waiting for iOS 18.2 Beta 3, but it's obvious that this release has been slightly delayed. It's unclear whether it will be this week or not. It might come out tomorrow or the day after, or it could be released next week. However, it is said that the release of iOS 18.2 is planned for the first or second week of December, so there isn't much longer to wait. As I said, if you liked this video or found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. It would make me happy and help the channel grow. This was Maxim. Thank you much for watching. Bye.